Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. For today's valued viewer requested mission we have Cap, can you recreate Operation Chengiz Khan by Pakistan Air Force in DCS? It will be very good if you can. By the way, love your videos. Muhammad Zahiruddin. Bean's taken this one on. Take it away, Bean.
Yeah, thanks, Cap, and hello, everybody. So, did a little bit of research on this. It was the preemptive strike, Chengiz Khan, of the Pakistani forces against the forward Indian airfields. I won't go too much into the background history because it's quite complicated, but effectively they were very worried that India, having signed a deal with China and supporting what is modern-day Bangladesh independence, that they were going to come under a military strike, so they decided to go preemptive. But they wanted to kind of keep quite a lot of their assets to one side and not commit too many in this initial strike. So they actually managed to strike 11 airfields with a big mix of aircraft. It's quite impressive. In some cases, they're only going off in ones or twos. They had a mix of Mirage 3s, some F-104s, some Canberras, that's the B-57, and even some trainer jets, which is the T-33, is basically a two-seat P-80, going off and attacking all these airfields simultaneously. Now, we're not going to try and hit 11 airfields tonight. We're instead going to just attack 5, but it will still be quite a big task. And without further ado, I'll go into the rest of the sheet. So you can see from the sheet we've got 2 air bases that we're departing from. The 2 kind of main principal targets, if you like, are Pathankot Air Base and Amritsar Air Base, and apologies to people if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So the main set of forces that they committed were the Mirages and the Sabres. Sorry, I forgot to mention they had Sabres as well, attacking Pathankot. And then they had some Mirages and some F-104s striking Amritsar. And then I think a little bit later on there was even a B-57 that dropped a bomb on there as well. So you can see that we've had to use the normal Caucasus map here to kind of simulate the terrain as per usual. And so we've got some substitute bases in there. You can see that Pathankot is actually Sinaki. And just to make it a little bit interesting, I have also put in an SA-3 site in there. Now, of course, in real life, they achieved pretty much total surprise, and the reaction was quite delayed. But, you know, I know people like to have a bit of a mix, and I thought maybe a mission of just dropping bombs on runways might be a bit boring for some people. So I have put in there a little MiG-21 QRF as well, quick reaction force. They will get triggered once we start attacking the airfields. So particularly the CAP, the Mirage 3s that we have, you'll need to go and seek them out and take them out, or otherwise everybody needs to get out of there pretty quick. Between ourselves and the Indian airfields, we have obviously that big sort of spine of mountains along there. So just keep in mind that if you're doing any low-level work going through those canyons, their new volumetric clouds make life quite interesting. So be careful of any controlled flight in terrain. Otherwise, there will be some AAA at the sites, particularly Pathankot. So we've split up the Sabres there. And this is actually realistic. They only had a flight of 4 Sabres dropping bombs, and then another set of just 2 Mirages providing the cap. We've also got 4 Sabres there that are going to be carrying rockets. They're there for the flak suppression. So I suggest they probably go in first to try and soften up the flak before the other Sabres drop their bombs. With Amritsar, we've got, again, another runway denial strike there with the Mirages. I mean, obviously, we don't have the Mirage 3 in DCS, so we substituted in the M2K, the Mirage 2000. Again, that'll be a low-level strike. You don't have any flak suppression, so just be aware of the flak around the site. We also have an early warning radar, which again is accurate. They struck an early warning radar on the day. This one I've actually stuck next to or within the airfield just to try and make life a bit easier. We don't have F-104s sadly in DCS, so you know I've kind of fudged it and put in some MiG-21s. Obviously, I would suggest those MiG-21s run noses cold, so that they don't accidentally get shot down by our Mirages. That would be a bit unfortunate. Then for the other collection of runways to kind of boost up the runways we're going to strike, we have Tbilisi standing in for some runways. And as you all know, there's a big cluster of runways there. There's actually 3 airfields together there, one of which has 2 runways. So I've got the Su-25 standing in for the Canberra again, which we did in the Taiwan mission as well. Yeah, you guys are expected to try and hit at least 3 runways there. And then for the final runway, we have the trainer jets, the T-33s, and again, they are, the courage these guys must have had to go out and do this. Went out in a pair of trainer jets with iron bombs and struck a runway there. So that's the Utaralai strike. Again, apologies for the pronunciation. Now, some people also wanted to get the old Viggen out because they quite rightly say this is exactly what the Viggen's designed for. So we've also got a Viggen flight there going in, pretending to be Mirage 3 because they're both kind of triangular. That's about as good as I could get it in trying to imagine what a Viggen would look like. But the idea is that the Viggins should try and get in there and take out that SA-6 site before it comes alive and starts shooting people down. So if you want to then have a look at some of the images of the actual air bases, I've got a picture there of the Panther Cop package, and you can see the SA-3 SAM site is right in the middle of the runway complex there. There's AAA around. Those AAA sites are a mix. There's some armored personnel carriers in there with 50 cal. There's some 40mm autocannon in there, which obviously spit out the green shots. There's some 57mm, and there is one ZSU 23mm. I haven't put too many of those in because they are absolutely deadly, but just be aware of those. Got some images there of the QRF and the SA-3. Just a note on the QRF for the Mirages. I've tried to put in period accurate arms for the Indian QRF, so they will likely be carrying 2 times R3Rs and 2 times K13s. Yourselves will only be carrying Magics, which is accurate to time, but you'll be carrying 4. So just be aware that those R3Rs are Fox 1s, but their range is very limited. I think it's only about 3 nautical miles. So you should be able to have the jump on them. Moving over to the Amritsar package, here we've got in the middle of the airfield the EWR site to be hit by our F-104s, our MiGs. And then again, a load of AAA around. Again, I've taken out quite a bit of the 23mm, but if you get hit by 57mm, you're going to know about it. So do go in low and fast Mirages and get out of there. There's a photo there of the EWR site, and then I've been asked to put in a route for the Mirages, so that's in there as a waypoint for you. To do a bit of a low-level canyon run. Again, just pay attention to particularly when you cross over the peaks there, the highest point of the mountains, you've got a risk of the cloud level being kind of at the same level you are to get over the hump. So just be very careful not to slam into the side of a mountain. And then finally, there's another overhead reconnaissance photo diagram, if you like, of the package there for the Su-25s and for sorry, not Su-25s, for the Canberras and for the T-33s. So I would suggest, given that the T-33s, the stand-in is the C-101, and we know that they're not exactly super fast, let's put it that politely, I suggest we probably let them get up first so they can get on the way. And it would be good if we can all try and roughly strike the runways at the same time, if possible.
Yeah, the C-101s, we've got our own route planned, which we're going to be following stopwatch and compass.
Okay, so just roughly for everybody else, what kind of time do you think you'll be striking the target?
From roll, we should be striking the target at about 33, 34 minutes.
Okay, great. So yeah, once you're up in the air, that gives the rest of us about half an hour to faff around and get off the runway. Yeah. and get to our targets, because as soon as we start dropping bombs, it will trigger the QRF and the SA-6 will start to come alive as well. So yeah, be good to neutralize those threats early on. And otherwise, that's it from me. Cap, if you want to then go over the flights.
Roger. One question. I heard you talking about Viggins attacking an SA-6, but I didn't actually see any pictures or no notifications of where an SA-6 is. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, sorry, I put SAM under Panthercot. So if you look at the Panthercot package photo, the tab next to the briefing, you've got it marked there in the middle of Sanaki. And then below there's actually a photo of there's 2 SA3 launches and there's 2 radars.
Right, so it's an SA3, not an SA6, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's an SA3. We have our own SAM network in Pakistan, but it's SA2s. So it will come up on RWR, unless you're in a MiG-21. It will come up in an RWR as SA2s are friendly and SA3 is enemy.
Right, let's go over flights. We've got for Pavement Coat, we've got Escort Cap in Mirage 3s. Is there any country in the world that Mirage 3s were not sold to? I don't think so. Danny and Macaboo. The Pavement Coat Runway Denial in Sabres. Period accurate. We've got Grump and Sand Dude. The Pavement Coat Flak Suppression also might do a bit of bombing, hopefully. More Sabres, and we've got Bean, Stoat and Darber. The Amritsar Strike Runway Denial in Mirage 3s, Space Chef, Kelso, Bendy and Elo. The Amritsar DEAD, Destruction of Enemy Air Defences. Striking the EWR is the F-104 Starfighters, Brinks, Maydrag and Redo. The Big 3 attack, Runway Denial. We've got the B-57 cameras, what a plane that is. Starscream Pineapples Blight. The Utalai Strike Runway Denial, which is the same one, isn't it? It's the Big 3 again. The T-33 Trainers, Arty Tanky, Ali and Cypher. And then back to Pavement Coat with the Siad or Diad. We've got striking the SA3, a Mirage 3s today, played by Vigans. Cap, Sock, Unexpected, and Jakal. Anything else before we go and kick some bot? Oh,
over to the strike.
Have Vigans got waypoints, by the way? Because they're pretty hopeless without waypoints. Or we're just flying by map.
A cartridge I was putting together before my DCS decided to not work. So I can do this to you if that would help.
Yes, please. That would help. That would help a lot. I'm going to be blood today, by the way, so I'm going to start getting out the pie charts. I'm going to start getting out my pointer and pointing at the board. Any other questions for Bean, anyone, and Ting? Okay, Cap has Aircraft 1, Pilot Bloodlock, punching it in now.
So we're going to attempt to use the TOT, but I'm aware that many of you are unfamiliar with it, so if it goes horribly wrong, it's not a disaster. But it will look very cool if you put it off.
Well, is waypoint 1 just literally a couple of kilometres outside the base?
Yeah, it's a weird thing with the TOT system. It doesn't seem to want... It sets the speed automatically to like 0.55 Mach, which is very, very slow. So I always put the first waypoint only a few hundred metres off the runway so that you can get up to speed quite quickly.
Roger. Well, 2 has input the cartridge and is awaiting further orders.
So everybody needs to load up with 4 times high explosive rockets.
Eek, okay.
Plus external fuel tank.
I had to restart my game. I'll be ready.
Alright. It's quite handy this time, I can actually see everything Cap's doing.
High explosive anti-tank or high explosive frag?
You want the frag one because we're hitting, lightly armoured radars and things, so we don't need the armour piercing.
I'm gonna do Reaper Silver.
Not sure if the splash damage is actually modelled in DCS, but it's worth putting on anyway.
What about fuel tank? What about sidewinders?
We're going fuel tank, and this time I think we will leave the sidewinders on because we're against aircraft that are relatively comparable to this, so... And it's not too fast at all. We don't need to lose the weight.
2.
While we're waiting, Cap, can you go to TID and in? And what we're going to do is type in the time on target into thing to see whether we get sensible numbers or not. So can you type 180000, then confirm with B7.
Bravo 7, done.
Then go to put the in-out switch to out.
Done.
34 minutes to take off. You've got loads of time. Can you just press the LS button for me, just to get so I know what the current time in mission is?
Done.
Baseline traffic, C101's 2 minutes to roll.
Brakes off and gate in 2, 1.
And we're rolling. Airspeed's alive. 70, 80. Rotate.
Okay, 4. Unfortunately, you're quite far behind in the process, and it may take a little while to debug it. So I'm going to get everyone else set up with all their weapons set and ready to go, and then 4, we're going to try and hopefully raffle through your stuff and get you all sorted. So for 1 through to 3, the weapons you need, weapon settings you need are on the weapon selector, attack. Put the forwardmost switch down, the one that says Norm Siri at the top. So that's all going to be have you set up for a long-range rocket strike, which I think is the easiest one to do. I don't expect it to be super accurate, but you fire a whole volley of rockets, so you'll just spray the target, and there's 4 of us, so hopefully one of you will hit. Currently, you have on your CK-37 display the number of minutes and seconds until you take off. When you get in the air, it's going to tell you how far ahead or behind time you are. If there is a blank digit on the left, as there is currently, you are ahead of time, you're going too fast, you need to slow down. If it's a minus, that means you're going too slowly, you're behind time, and you need to speed up. So your goal is to hit Mach 0.7 throughout the whole trip, and if you drop behind time, go slightly above Mach 0.7. If you go ahead of time, go slightly below Mach 0.7, and that's it. Just let me know. And we still have 10 minutes remaining, which gives us time to hopefully sort out number 4's issues. So, number 4.
One rolling.
2 falling behind.
If you take off out of order, it's not a disaster. You're in about 10-15 seconds apart from each other and you can shuffle around mid-air.
3, quick question.
Good.
We leave nav off yet, huh?
Yep, keep your aircraft in BER for the moment, just stops nav drift.
Blood, one of these guys is loaded up with bombs, by the way.
Everybody check your loadouts. If you're armed up with bombs, swap to high explosive rockets, you've still got time.
Wow. Blood's got the patience of a friggin' Michelangelo's saint.
So that's it, 6 minutes.
Good stuff. So I've talked through the TOT, and I'll give you a reminder when we're in mid-air.
So there are 6 sabers, 2 of them, or rather 3 of them, are flak suppression. We are the runway denial.
Strike Wayne, we are aiming for a east to west strike on the runway and the egress northeast afterwards.
East to west.
We're going to start trying to level off now since we're above the mountaintop.
Strike 2 copies, just heads up, we do have a, we're gonna have AAA and flak right over that east side.
Oh, not a flak that does their job.
It is a tricky thing to do, especially when you're doing this for the first time and it's just me talking in your ear.
Sams are awake, get low.
We'll be fine on the day. Okay, the SE3 site is up as well as the MiG-21's hostiles.
Fun. You guys should be fine from both of those because you're going to be low and fast. You got about 2 minutes, or just under 3 minutes to take off. Once it says 1 minute, you need to go nav.
Lead 1 minute, switching to nav.
Seems the stream's about 12 seconds behind.
Sock is about 30 seconds behind.
That's good. I'm expecting you to be slightly apart from one another. Designed to see you all smack into each other mid-air. That once you are airborne and you are at about B1, you should be quite far ahead of time, about 40 seconds or something. Don't panic, you just need to go like Mach 0.65 and it'll slowly drop back. You've got a long time to fix any errors.
Lead rolling.
That's basically in there is a safety margin.
That runway is done for.
Yeah, that runway is
Alright, let's sign up, make it home.
2 rolling.
and push the power back up. All the way to Mac.
Shit. They're a lot higher than I am.
Okay, turn 180.
The other thing to note is after B1 you have quite a sharp turn to the left. Just take it fairly gently and that'll kill off that ahead of time area you have.
You're right on my tail. I'm trying to work out your whistle right now.
But I'd focus as well on keeping, should be a left roll there. There you go.
I'm just off your 11 o'clock. I'm a little bit ahead.
Keep power up, try and get up to that Mach 0.67 area, and then you can very comfortably just adjust your speed.
Yeah, make it for that canyon ahead of us to make sure we lose any pursuit, and then we'll pop up for home.
Hey, I hope he's got sight of the target, because
Stand by. Turn it.
nope. Yeah, I see it.
Get him, Matt.
Okay, good hit.
Pickles away. Pickles away.
Pickles away. That runway is done for.
Yeah, that runway is kaput. Alright, let's make it home.
There is also another handy way of telling how far ahead or behind the schedule you are, is you'll see your velocity vector, the fin at the top will go inside the circle if you're too slow, and will go outside the circle if you're too fast. The only slight caveat with this, if you're really close to a waypoint, it's going to give you, it'll either tell you you're massively too slow or too fast, because it's telling you you've got, say, a minute to go 10 kilometers, which is impossible to do. So take it with a pinch of salt, but focus mostly on the timer on your CK-37.
Lead Delta +9.
Remember, you're looking for Mach 0.7, and then you're just doing little adjustments either side of it. So, for example, captain quite nicely, I think about 8 seconds on the stream, and going Mach 0.62. So in theory, that time should start coming down, and then once you get to 0, you then speed back up to 0.7, and in theory, you'll be exactly on time.
Lead Delta +5.
Yeah, copy that, Danny. They've got to take off the runway, so they're probably starting to get in here.
Sweet, Delta -2. Yep, so you just need to speed, get it above Mach 0.7.
Crossing the dam now.
And you should Yeah, I'd recommend having a few seconds ahead of time in the bank, because this route isn't perfectly straight, assuming you follow the valleys, and therefore you will drop back a bit. So try and stay like 5 seconds ahead or something like that at the start of the journey, and then you get closer and closer to the target, bring it back onto perfect time, and that means you're more likely to not have to put loads of throttle in.
Roger.
Have light start off throttle.
Sorry, one, this is 2. My TID went to 71000 now.
What is it?
Okay, did you press any of the waypoint buttons?
2. Just go back to LS.
Negative, you go off TID, back onto TID. Back. Basically what you've done there is you press one of the waypoint keys, and rather than changing the waypoint, it tells you the speed that you want to travel on that leg, which is Mach 0.71.
Got it.
And to get the time on target, you just simply have to come off TID and back onto it. As long as you don't press any buttons beyond there, it'll tell you the time to target.
Affirmative.
So,
negative 1 minute 17 seconds.
Holy shit.
Just put full power, get up to I think Mach 0.85, and just try and claw it back. You've got a long journey, so you'll be able to get most of that back.
This is Pentagon Strike Flight. Mission accomplished. Runway is been dusted.
Yeah, copy that, Danny. They've got to take off the runway, so they're probably starting to get in here now, but they'll be at quite low altitude.
Crossing the dam now. Check the river. Scan yourself.
Copy that, right behind you guys. Holy crap, this is beautiful! I'm trying to keep an eye out for these guys. Staying pretty low.
Alright boys, suspect for clean. I'm gonna pop up for fuel consumption. Copy on yours.
What's the waypoint you're heading to?
B2.
Okay, should be fine. Yeah, it's not an amazingly long flight this, so burning off a bit of fuel is not a disaster. Can I get everyone else's TOT error, please?
Lead, TOT Delta 0.
3 TOT Delta 5. 4. 4 Delta minus 40. Action.
Okay, yeah, same with you. I'd go Mach 0.85 and get it up to get it down as quickly as possible, because the earlier you solve it, the easier it is to get it on 0 when you hit the target.
Cool.
I think at this point we might want to go for fuel saving.
Lead
down
bags
to
off.
0.9.
Fuel bags off.
I was in the trail and the lead is
Feedback's
so
off.
I had to burn a bit more fuel, I think.
Champ, watch the speed, you're slowing down a lot there. Go full power.
Yeah, I'm already on it.
This is why I say you have the 5 seconds in the bank, because when you want to climb up or turn around a corner, you've got that extra time to spare.
Yeah, we're about 55 miles or so to now check this should be right. I'm still throttled back to 90 and climbing. Yeah, I'm at about 19 myself. Just off your left wing.
Shit. This doesn't look ready.
Back to 88% of power and cruising up.
One thing I was unsure about was the amount of cloud coverage. Seems you may have got unlucky there, and it's exactly where you need to climb out of the valley, but I recommend climbing up above it quickly.
Yeah, it's not dense, it's fine, guys.
Yeah, it's coming down the river, but I think you should be able to just fly above it until you find a gap.
Is it negative 224?
Team, great work all around. Let's get home.
Full on speed.
Very nice. Looks like we might get all 4 of us on target, on time. Yep, there's no time.
lead Delta Zero.
Lead Delta Zero.
Stay in the valley there.
Information with
in the cloud, I get above it.
Because you're constantly moving up and down all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm bouncing left and right with the...
Luckily they don't have any long range SAMs, so it's not vital you stay in the valleys.
Yeah, so...
Much rather you didn't hit a mountainside. Okay, so we're starting to get closer to the dam, which is where you're going to swap from Mach 0.7 as your target speed to Mach 0.85. Then you're going to need to start prepping for the attack. So get down nice and low, Mach 0.85, and proceed to waypoint B6. Once you have passed B6, it should then say M7, and you should be 25 kilometers away from it. There will be a turn for many of you at waypoint 6, so make sure you put lots of power on and turn quickly, otherwise you'll drop back on your TOT. Once you're pointed towards the target, and at the correct speed, do one last check of the old TOT, but after that point, ignore it. It's not important. You need to focus on doing the attack and getting it right and getting the weapons on target, because you can't change your TOT at that point. And the attack is very simple. Once you have M7 displayed, A and F, then 10 kilometers out of the target, pull up until your feet are on the horizon, roughly 45 degrees. Then count to 5, and it's a slow count. 1, 2, 3, and so on. Once you get to 5, roll inverted, pull until the dot is roughly on the target, then roll again until you're level. At this point you need to adjust your aim and get it right on that SA3 site, and once you're happy and it's stable, just count for 1 second to make sure it stays there, then pull the trigger, all the rockets will go, and at that point you dive to the ground and get the hell out of Dodge. It'll be part of the stream.
Lead.
That's true. So, beautiful.
Alright, throttling back to 80 and dive.
I'll give you a final reminder all the little bits as we do it, because in theory we'll all be doing it at the same time.
Lead hitting the dam.
Going 9 left.
And mine too.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of turbulence from myself.
So as you come over the dam and start heading towards V6, this is the point where you really got to focus on getting that TOT down to 0, because you won't have a chance once you're egressing to the target. So remember, it's Mach 0.85, and just focus on getting it to 0. So for CAP in particular, and to a lesser extent 2 and 3, you have quite a sharp right-hand turn. And if you wait until you pass B6 and you don't put any power on, your TOT will drop 5 or 6 seconds behind. So instead, once you're about 2 kilometers from the target, go full power, turn to the right, and you should automatically swap to the next waypoint then, and be pointed in the right direction, still at the right speed, and on the right time.
2, 3, 4.
Can I get a final TOT check for everyone?
Cap is Delta plus 1 second.
2 plus 5.
Laps and gear down on final.
3 plus 5.
Coming in ahead of you, so I'll take right side.
Those are all good numbers, but see if you can get them on 0.
2 plus 0.
Very nice.
I was coming a bit too fast.
Lead Delta 0. Holding. Hold it.
To get back behind you guys, so I think I'm still quite a bit ahead of you.
Lead Delta 0.
Sandy touchdown, left side.
Sandy 2 Delta 0.
Sandy is.
Okay, you should be approaching the turns now. Cap, turn to the right. Get full power. Don't lose that speed.
Lead ANF on M7.
Yep, so everyone, once you see M7, go ANF. And now you're staying low and keeping an eye on your distance to the target. Don't worry about the TOT now. Just focus on trying to stay roughly Mach 0.85. Should be about stage 1 to 2. And you're waiting till you're 10 kilometers from the target.
That
to 10 clicks and Delta 0, prepare for pull.
Okay,
and
pull up. 45 degrees, feet on the horizon, count to 5. Once you get to 5, roll inverted, pull until that dot is on that SA3 site. Or at least roughly in the middle of the airfield if you can't see it just yet. Then roll level. Put the dot on it. I want it to stay right there for 1 second. Pull that trigger. Always. I got the radar. Okay.
Got to put out my bullet, so I was showing you guys quite.
Yeah. Slightly late on that cap, but that's probably a hit. Farty.
lead off target.
2, weapons away, SP-73 destroyed.
Very nice. That's pretty good for a first go. Now make sure you get back to base quickly. It's roughly north.
L Mal is not working for cap, so I need
yeah, you need to go north and then worry about it.
Do you want to get out of here full burn?
Yeah, just you got plenty of fuel from the looks of it, so get full burn, get out of there.
Don't forget to go back to nav, guys.
Yep, go back to nav, actipos and out, press L Mal, and that'll get you. Yeah, cap actipos and out first, then L Mal.
Lead.
Then follow it all the way home.
1-3.
Lead 200
So I look forward
kilometers.
to seeing the tac view on that one. Cap, you waited quite a long time until firing. Perhaps you're used to the short-range rocket mode, but you do have to get quite close.
I was
with these ones.
See, even still, my rockets just dropped down. I didn't put any lead on them. The other boys were good.
Yeah, I think maybe you need to be a bit more aggressive with the.
I was waiting for the. I was actually using the big and ranging system, the symbology at the bottom.
Yeah, so that in the long range mode you need to ignore. So you just the moment. So I said the moment the dot's on that target and stable, you fire, and you can get relatively accurate shots from 7 kilometers away.
Oh, the boys got it right at least.
Yeah, I think you hit something. At least got it roughly in the right area. But again, I was expecting little things like this because just explaining it over the radio is difficult. You need to see somebody actually do it, and then you go, oh right, that's what happens.
Guys, drop your racks.
All things considered, you did extremely well.
0.5 is to lift the tank.
2, reporting 40%.
Yep,
you guys have seen one below you, so I'm on 0.4 left in the tank.
and I'm right in the middle, 0.45.
It's in this house. I'm on 0.2.
Interesting.
You did spend a little while rolling around there.
But no cockpit at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Watch us catch these sabres up, boys. They had like a half an hour head start.
One of your fighters survived. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a crappy mission. One guy got hit by AAA, the other guy got hit by
I was wondering about the SAM. Yeah, I was worried about the SAM. Like, we don't really have anything to protect us from the SAMs apart from our small signature grid.
Yeah, in hindsight, I thought they can take them off first, so I don't know why I made that.
Landed the same direction we did.
You did. Yeah, I
more of a game for them, but no, it's all quite short, so like
Cap Mac 1.9.
Yeah, that's definitely a serious issue.
over and then turn back around.
So I think you're looking through mounted display.
Quick way to traverse the corpuses, boys.
It's even more advanced than you could possibly imagine. F-35, that's got nothing on it. You can see straight from the cockpit with this.
Yeah, I just backtracked. Okay. In that case, you did come. I have 3 questions. It looked like he came the same way, but
Good.
turn around. Why does my HUD horizon by the end of the mission always start to be like tipped? That is true.
So, I'm not sure if this is a bug or a feature, but it appeared, I think about 3 weeks to a month ago, where after a while, the artificial horizon becomes, you know, out of date, and I'm not sure there is a recage button.
Alright, so here's the questions. Any of us crash on landing?
Sandy, touch.
Rumps remaining right side.
Sandy, touchdown left side.
Danny Vegan.
Sandy, it is vacating.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. Actually gonna hit the brakes here. Beautiful.
Strike flight, welcome out.
Ah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, this is a thing that happens in other aircraft where the artificial horizon will go out askew and just normally recage either.
It's Russian.
But I haven't found one in the Vegan.
Yeah, Russians decided to steer.
That's what I'm encountering in this Vegan, but
They probably went out of there,
at this
to come
point,
back home with it.
Yeah, from all the years of flying it, I've not encountered it until I think it was the Cuban Missile Crisis mission we did, and then it started to go all skew-in. Because I think as well this mission profile that involves you pulling up quite hard and then doing several rolls and pulling again and so on really does a number on it.
Yeah,
our home is LS or B1.
No, it's L1.
I mean, to be fair, that was so that the runway denial could come in, right?
Yeah, you gotta hit the L now with my button.
The only thing that changes the SA3 being...
Yeah, but only after going active out, otherwise you're just simply going to get the time to that destination. A sensible answer. I just done a cheeky bit of F10 viewing, and you've destroyed everything bar one launcher, so that's pretty dead SAM site.
That's good advice.
Cap RT is on 5%, but it's also only 20 kilometers away, so you can glide it in.
I'm an experienced vegan pilot, boys. I'll be fine.
Great for that kind of job with the
I'm leaving you, Cap.
and the 650 mil is just a great ground stroke.
Don't let the trees grab you.
Yeah, that's pretty beautiful.
It's just because they didn't want to add another dial in, so they just had a little thing that swaps it from 1 kilometer to 10.
There you go, bud, I've sent you my cockpit picture.
Hey, boys.
Are you guys using just the vanilla
Interesting.
cockpit, or did you...
Well, at least you're the HUD. That's a bonus.
Livery the...
Oh, I just like the video.
You're left technical, you'll give me left to
You have another cockpit? Yeah, hang on. I didn't know there was one. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's in the normal,
So, Jackal, make sure you consider the fuel because you're a little way off, but bearing of 060, 68 nautical miles.
you know, there's like baked on reflections that are a bit...
Now, I'm also aware you probably can't see where 060 is, although there should be a compass on the HUD.
Removes all of those and also removes the dive back.
Yeah, but yep. Yeah, 060 get you there. That's why I'm actually a right turn.
I thought he was gonna just dive into us, yeah. Nice little pass. I didn't think it was got the wrong one, sorry.
Been slowing down.
120, check. I'm also not sure how to shut the aircraft down, but oh well. Hey Gil, Jackal, are you on comm?
To be honest, neither do I. I've got auto shutdown.
Yeah, you want to fly 065
Yeah,
for base.
coming in from here, so I don't know if he's going to want to do sillies. Civil Solutions, there's 2 switches on the right, next to those red levers.
Yeah, I've fired up lot AC, you can have a look at the switch to ask for the anyone that's way off target. Generator switch, yeah, I've got no cockpit and deatomizer switch.
You've got a HUD, what are you complaining about?
Or just
Biggest
because you everything.
The biggest is the most advanced aircraft I've ever flown in everything.
To make sure to connect ground power first, so that it's loads of fun. Look at Cap building.
He should be fine as long as the battery holds up.
Oh, he's doing the reverse thrust, yeah. Cap's doing the fucking wheeling. How much do you want to bet he's going back? Oh, that's what he's doing. He's doing the backboard bounce.
He's about to do the back and forth crash.
I thought he was going to crash.
I'm trying to work out what the AAA's firing at Sinaki.
The DC's got a friendly on cap is really bad.
He's got a friendly on fire. No, he's going overhead. Oh no, you're miles out.
Down pilots down there. Oh, next to me have to do some more bounty.
Ah, yeah, it could be someone who's partially destroyed and absolutely not on F10, unless, in order to make it more exciting, Bean has put on the, the flank cannon mode, where they just fire up into the air. Nah, let's give him a good steer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be landing right in front of you. Yeah, but the flag cannon mode, I don't think it's firing in the trigger zone. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't know. The engine of it can still shoot. They can shoot on the ground and with engine on.
My guns aren't shooting.
That's ACC, we're clear.
Have you turned your
gun switch on the left of your throttle to all gun?
And also the switch at the just in front of your stick, I think you have to sort of turn on too.
There we go. There you go. Oh my god, the lag that it causes me whenever you start shooting. Yeah, that's the suspicion of that. Oh, the police are not helping at all. Patrick! Oh, you just shot Captain! Same as
Oh my gosh! No limit. I was not expecting that. Oh, he's gonna hate us. Oh dear.
He spawned him back.
What is the landing sign of mounting?
Yep, I 100%. I understand. It's the runway 05. And if you could, you could normally stop before the second ramp, but it's a little tricky.
I don't know how to do this in the Mirage, though. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you may have to backtrack to the Mirage.
I should have a dash.
And welcome to the debrief. So, Bean, do you want to go an overview, or do you want to go through the flights?
I think we'll just go through the flights, Cap.
Right, off you go, boys. I don't know who's first, so you just have to figure it out, guys.
That'd be the escort flight for Pantacot, Danny and Makabu.
Send. Gonna be like that, is it, boys?
I think they're still in mission, maybe. Should we?
No, definitely not. Makabu, I watched. He looked like he disconnected. Yeah, he disconnected on RTB, and then
Danny's still
Danny.
seated.
Oh yeah, but
Okay,
I mean they got 1 kill each, so
Hopefully they were hostiles.
I think we'll just press on. You'll probably catch up.
Next group, send.
Okay, so that was the Panthercot strike flight, consisting of myself, Whistler, Gruntmeister, and Sand Dude. We let the flak suppression squad get a nice good 30-second lead on us, and because we knew fuel was going to be an issue, we decided to take a nice, lovely jaunt over the mountains, nice and high. Dove in. We came in from the west side where we knew from intelligence that there would be less flak over the runway, and all three of us made our drops and made it home successfully.
And no one got shot down?
Not among us, no.
Jesus Christ, this can't be Grim Reapers. Right, well done. Next group, send.
Okay, so I have to apologise to my wingmen. This is the Panthercot flak suppression because we got in first, and that triggered the SA6 that, of course, the Vigans should have taken out, and that's my fault because I bossed everyone around and told them that we were going to go first. So yeah, one of my guys got shot down by an SA6. Another one took a golden BB to the face from some AAA. But I feel really bad because I'm the mission designer and I got back okay, and I took out quite a lot of AAA. So it's a great aircraft for that job. It gun runs and rockets. So I had a lot of fun.
You'll have to get some self-flagellation done, Bean.
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad.
Bean, self-flagellation.
Yes. Next group, send.
That would be Amritsar, the runway denial with the Mirage. So we want a bit of a canyon run in the mountains. We had to play a bit with the clouds when we had to pop up a mountain pass. That was interesting. We managed to find an opening in the clouds, get back in the valleys. We went to our target. I think all of us got bombs away. I got shot down by a Bofors 40 millimeters, but the runway is completely destroyed. I think Kelso had maybe some battle damage, navigation issues, but he made it back safe, and Bandy as well.
Well done, boys. Next group.
Before that, Danny has returned, if he could speak of his flight.
Yes. We flew there, flew around some circles, shot down 2 MiGs, and then flew some more circles and came back to base.
Roger. We probably should have held the radar on the Mirage 3000, shouldn't we, thinking about it? Because Mirage 3 didn't have it.
The radar.
Oh, there you go then. Well done. Next group.
It's kind of... I was sat there flying formation with Macabu, and it's like, what's that coming towards us? And it's just a MiG-21 burning straight towards us. Straight into the merge.
As long as a red one, then that's good. Next group, send.
So we took off, flew to Kutasi, and then shot the EWR and flew back.
Roger. No losses?
Not to mention the airfield we arrived and tried to attack wasn't the target airfield.
Oopsie! Who's a naughty little dragon?
We didn't do any collateral damage.
So that's okay. As long as you didn't bomb any civilians all the wrong runway, I'm happy, guys. Or too many civilians. That's okay. Okay.
I just call them terrorists.
Good job, 104 starfighters. Next group, send.
Yeah, I think big 3 for the Canberras. We flew out and we destroyed all 3 runways that we were tasked to do. Took no damage and made our way back successfully.
Word up, boys.
I think that the key to our success was waiting for the CU-101s to take off. We got to take a nap before that.
I'm just watching. They're still going towards target. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the winner ones are about 5 minutes out from Beslan.
Roger. Next group, send. Next group.
Is that the 101?
Is that us?
Oh, that's bad. Bloody, you can do it. You did all the work.
Yes, so our target was to hit the SA3 site on Panthercot Run airfield. However, DCS decided it didn't want me to fly the Vigan today, so I had to backseat pilot using only cap stream, which was 12 seconds delayed, which was quite fun. And we also tried to do a relatively complex attack, a simultaneous rocket attack using the time on target system. And despite the fact that I don't think any of you 4 have done both the TOT and the rocket strike as a wanna, you all arrived within 5 seconds of each other.
Not bad.
The final rocket strike was a little bit hit and miss because you were doing it entirely off my description of it, having never practiced it before or even seen any diagrams. And whilst a couple came in a bit too late or too shallow, we actually destroyed all but one of the launchers and the radar, so it's pretty dead sight.
Not bad, guys, eh? For a bunch of
So a bit of
idiots.
practice, and I reckon you'd have that, yeah, pretty much nailed.
Always have problems with the rockets, just the last application of those rockets. I don't think I've ever hit anything. Well done, guys. I know there's a lot of arsing around at the beginning, but we did finally get our act together, which was amazing, to be honest. Next group, send.
Only C101s left, I believe.
Yeah, the C101s reached their target more or less on time. All aircraft struck the runway is destroyed, no losses, and we are just coming in to do a break over Beslan on our return.
Well done, boys. How about that? C101s, always reliable, always do a good job. You just got to be incredibly patient and have lots of spare time. Well done, guys. Have I missed anyone out? There you go. Just a good, solid bean mission, really. Well done. As in real life, it was just a pretty awesome strike. Anything to add before we sign off?
Just looking at the attack view, I think the C101s and Vigans hit within about a minute of each other.
Stand by. I'm going to go watch the Vigan attack on the
opposite ends of Georgia, which is not bad.
I'm just going to have a look. Was that intentional?
Yes.
tried
to hit at 6 o'clock.
The C101 break over Beslan was quite beautiful, I must admit.
I'm just watching the Vigans come in now, so who's ahead? Where's Supercap? There I am. Oh, look at that. We're all coming from different angles. Kurt angle. That looks cool. And then we all climb. Look at that. Formation climb, apart from Damp, who just didn't bother. The rest of us are climbing in beautifully. And bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. But he got the missiles off in the end, though, and that's what that counts. Right, how about that? And then Cap flies back over the runway while getting lost. Excellent. Right, guys, I've got a lot of stuff to do, so I will see you back on Wednesday, depending on what happens with the patch. We'll just see what happens.
Is it confirmed we're getting a patch this week?
Not. It's some people think it might, and that's about as realistic as we've got at the moment.
Off the hinds?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue, boys.
I go off module releases depending on how many videos we've currently got out. With only 3 videos out, I doubt it.
Nice job, Bruno.
On Steam, it does say 16th is the expected.
It's very valid, Grump. It is a very valid point.
Alright, goodbye, boys. Try for now.
Night, Cap.
Night, Cap.
Right, thanks.